Yo, it's your boy Swag. I'm back with another one. Today I'll be talking about growing up in O Block and my experience and how it was for me. I'm pretty much sure it's just like any other project. Growing up fast, seeing things, adapting to your environment, and trying to get the fuck out. Um, Growing up, I went to Dulles, John F. Dulles, Foster Dulles School. That's right behind O Block. Um, That's like preschool to sixth grade. Once you leave there to sixth grade back then you will go to diet. We call it school bus, you know. I think now they take public transportation, but it's pretty much the same like one, two, three. You know what I'm saying? You start off school, you go to diet, then you go like the Dunbar. They closed down Inglewood, Hyde Park. Them the schools in our area. That's how everybody know each other. Plus family or just moving around. Um, Growing up was pretty cool, man. I seen things, met people. Um, I don't know. I guess y'all want to hear about all the bad shit. I could talk about the bad shit, but I'm just talking about the overall experience, like growing up playing it. We got about like 50 some buildings, so just imagine all the kids in the project just playing. We going in the house, like taking breaks, eating, just chilling. You know what I'm saying? Come back out, motherfuckers still chasing each other, playing around. You it? No, we get to run them. They say yeah. Like basically like kid shit. Like in that area, Parkway was known for being right next door to the route. The route was a skating rink where everybody in the city used to come. If you was lit, you was in that bitch, and you know what I'm saying. You was a superstar in that motherfucker. How far's a superstar, or what you think is a superstar is what you take it. But you in the area, you in that bitch. It's like ain't nobody fucking with you. Nobody fucking with you. Just put it like that. Uh, I remember growing up, we used to have apple trees. We used to throw apples at cars and shit when they drive by. One time we hit a gangster nigga car. This nigga stop, hop out, you little motherfuckers. This nigga whoop, pull in through the main entrance, come right where we was. We take off running and shit. That shit was so crazy. That was like one of the craziest times as a shorty throwing apples and shit. Man, we used to have so much fun, man. In O Block, they had like the little thorn trees. The thorns were about this long, man. Used to break them off. Used to randomly go push somebody's doorbell, stick them in there, and that motherfucker just go, just keep going off. I remember my motherfucking gas stuck one in my fucking bill. I was mad as hell, man. My mama was mad as shit. She made me go downstairs to take it out. I'm like, you motherfuckers, why y'all putting it in my bill? They laughing and shit. Man, it was the good times. Y'all don't even know, man. Growing up, it's like you experience so fucking much, and it's like when you get older, you think about it. It's just like, man, it was the fucking days, man. I can go on and on and on about shit, man. Like, man, pretty much seen everything. Like back in them days, like I'm a little older, so even with the Chief Keefs, I'm a little older than him, so it was like my era was different from his era, but one and the same. Back in those days, they used to recruit little youngest to like be in the game. So at that time, like the older guys used to be like, y'all from here, so you know what I'm saying. Y'all gonna fuck with us, and this is what y'all do. Do this, do that. Don't do this, don't do that. Come here. We gonna see y'all. Then we just gonna chill out and have a meeting, and you know what I'm saying. That's how it was back in them days. So me growing up in Parkway, we had our little older guys. You know what I'm saying? Who used to like try to school us on shit. Some of my guys went full in, some of my guys didn't. You know what I'm saying? I was around, I hung, you know what I'm saying? Some of my guys grew up and never changed. But in them days, it was like a lot different. Far as how you became, I guess, an old block nigga versus now out here on the internet. They say you just go over there and you just chill out, come around, and you become an old block nigga. But back in them days, as far as I know, growing up in old block, if you lived in there, you hung with who you hung with. The older guys said, "This is what you do. This is how you do it. Stand here. Watch out for the police. See the police. Here comes security. You let them know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I guess it's the same. You gotta start at some position. But growing up in O Block was fun, man. I wouldn't change it for nothing in the world. I seen Brains for the first time in O Block. First girl experience in O Block. I remember it used to snow every winter. Like when we used to walk to Dulles, like we all meet up. You know, you go to school with your friends or whatever. But in the wintertime, we used to all meet up right before you get to Dulles. It's the first tall building. Then it's like a little hill where it's like it kind of go like this and go down to the gate, and that part turned to ice. We used to slide down that motherfucker like bare clothes, like we was wilding. Like used to just slide on down that motherfucker. My homie had slid and bust his head open and shit. They fucked around and stopped us from doing that, but we used to do that every year till he bust his head, fucked himself up, man. That shit was fun. I know y'all want to hear about all the bad shit. Really ain't no bad shit about growing up, man. You just learning, living life. You know what I'm saying? Around that time, they had the DARE program in school. I don't know if they got the DARE program now, but I don't even know if the DARE program was good or bad. Cause shit, that's how I found out about drugs. I didn't know shit about drugs until the DARE program. So once I started finally figuring out like they on drugs, okay, so we ain't just kids hanging out. These is the game bangers that's selling drugs to the drug addicts. Like I'm figuring life out. This was like maybe third, fourth grade. I can't even say what grade, but you used to learn about drugs when you was young back in the days. So I started figuring it out. Like damn, I got people in my family on drugs. Like man, like that shit was crazy. Like just growing up in old block at that time, just seeing all the drug addicts. Then realizing like some of my friends then graduated from just hanging out. Them motherfuckers was selling crack, dope, heroin, whatever. They was doing that on the front gate. You know what I'm saying? Just project living. You know what I'm saying? Some people was forced to get into that lifestyle. Some enjoyed the lifestyle. Fortunate for me, I had both my parents and they was providing for me, so I never really seen like the fast money is something I wanted to do at that age. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about maybe from like 8 to like 13 young. I'm talking about get it in young, jump off the porch early, like yeah. So yeah, growing up, getting stuck on the elevator. We used to pull that bitch open in between floors so we could see like the other like the floor that we leaving. Then it's like we looking down there that our young dumbass used to jump off or crawl off, and we could have fell under the fucking elevator from the part that was underneath. But we used to just do dumb shit, open the door, look, and then jump down. Like we used to be some badass kids. We used to do a lot of bad shit. Um, the church at the end of Parkway, where the route used to be at, before it became a skate ring, we used to climb on top of that motherfucker and throw rocks off the top of that, jump off that motherfucker. Then behind Parkway, if you ever paid attention, it's like the freight trailers or where they load the trains up back there. Like man, we used to try to hit that motherfucker. We used to try to climb over there and steal shit off the freights. Security guard used to always come chase us and shit. Um, I can't say what year, maybe 2009 ish. They had hit that bitch for a whole bunch of gun crates. I'm gonna put that in the link description. You can check that out. Um, yeah, so motherfuckers always been trying to hit that motherfucker. I remember back in the day in the hood, cause my grandmother stayed on Front Street, so right there on Front Street, it's like right off the expressway. Then I guess I want to say like uh, maybe 59th and State or a block past State. They used to load up the JB Hunt trucks and shit, little shit like that. That's why all the JB Hunt trucks used to come through, used to ride through Front Street. And then at the red light, motherfucker used to hop on the back, try to break the lock off that motherfucker. Like the 90s was crazy. I don't see them doing that shit no more. But they used to try to break into the JB Hunt trucks and shit all the time. Man, just wild times, man. Growing up in the hood. It's crazy. Then people always talk about how did beef start with between LPG and O Block. The names might have been different, but we inherit the beef somehow. We used to fight them niggas over there. They went to the Makar school, so I guess they inherit our beef, which we inherit the old guys' beef. Um, back in that time at about like maybe like 13, 14 ish. A couple of my guys went to jail for attempt murder for somebody that lived over there. They beat them with a 2x4 and shit like that. They did their time and came home. Um, Shooting, a couple of guys got hit. You know what I'm saying? Just back and forth beef war that went on for a long time. So, growing up in O Block pretty much the same as it is today. None too much different, just the times. Sort of say. Like this era would probably be about the rappers. My era was more so about the route. I know you guys heard of the Calumet building. Like everything was different back in them days. So the Calumet building always been the building. But me growing up in my era, they was MOCs, Max over Calumet. Uh, we always been who we was. So, that's just a little backstory of me growing up in O Block. Really can't think of too much more to say. I mean, it's like growing up in any other project. Uh, I told about the apple trees, the thorns, like that stand out to me. Like that was, I guess, I want to say different. I don't know if every project got them motherfuckers across the globe, but we had those that made our shit interesting. Then we had the freights. We used to hit them motherfuckers. I guess that's pretty much it. That's my experience growing up in O Block. I stayed in 63, 64. I stayed in 65, 14. Them was my two buildings I grew up in as a youngin'. I remember when cable like first kicked off. Like I'm talking about how the world changed. Like when cable first kind of like came out, they came and hooked the cable up, and they had this channel where you could see who coming in inside the building. I used to look at that motherfucker for hours. I don't know why, but I was just kind of fascinated with seeing motherfuckers come in and out the building. And it's like, as soon as you come in the door, the camera was like right up here, so you could see everybody coming in. And I used to just watch that motherfucker for some reason. Used to see some of the craziest shit. That's when the box and all that shit was cracking. And I don't know how O Block is right now, but when I was growing up, it was a community center in O Block. The community center helped women, children. We was in a parade. We used to walk from Like, I guess it was like 35th and King Drive to 51st and King Drive. They still got the Bud Billington Parade. I think they slowed down on it because motherfuckers started shooting it up. But we used to do that. That community center did help my mother, which helped me in life, which helped me move out of old block when I was about 14. My mother ended up getting her GED from a program in there, which helped her get a job, which helped her save and kind of change my future. Who knows where I could be? Could be worse than what I am. I could be in jail. I could have been a full gangster. You know what I'm saying? Out here in these streets, but you know, by me moving, I think that helped me a lot. Shout out to that program. I forgot the name of the program. The woman that run it, but her family did live in Parkway. Shouts out to them. Man, I can't forget. I forgot her name, but that kind of changed my life too, cause that kept me away from like just being in the projects and everything that come with it. It's no escape, so I was able to linger out and live a different way, do different things, even though I always came around the hood, but I wasn't stuck in there. And some of my friends got stuck, you know. Some of my friends didn't make it out, you know. Everybody not lucky. But they did have a lot of programs for the kids. A lot of programs. We used to go in the center and like eat, meet up with everybody that had games and shit. They had it at the 220 building too. That was one of the buildings across 63rd before you get to State Street. They shit was off the chain. I used to love going there with my cousins and them. Man, and just so many memories growing up in that area. But yeah, that's my experience growing up in Old Block. If you want to hear something else or you got something you want me to talk about, leave a comment, like, share if you like to. But it's your boy Swag. I'm out.